So I'm sure by now you're following me on Twitter at ScoutWithBryan. If you're not, what are you doing? Just past 10,000 followers on Twitter. Appreciate you all. But I've been doing a lot of NBA lists recently where I've been ranking a lot of things around the league, usually just for fun. Just my opinion, of course. You're free to disagree with any of them. But today I put out a list of best handles in the league, and I ranked LeBron as having the fifth best handle in the league right now. And believe it or not, that caused a lot of controversy. A lot of people are not big believers in LeBron's handle. So I decided let's take a look at some of the film and let's see if LeBron has a good handle, and in fact, how good is it? Because, like I said, there were some takes in response. I ranked LeBron over Kemba. No disrespect to Kemba, he's got a hell of a handle, but I think LeBron, with his size, has one of the best handles of all time for a guy that big. But the takes got worse from there. LeBron has one of the worst handles of any superstar I've seen. That was an interesting one. And then this coach decided to rank a bunch of guys that included Kevin Garnett, Tony Kukoc, Carmelo Anthony, and Paul Pierce as having better handles than LeBron James. Gotta say, I don't really see that one. But let's take a look at the film again. In the interest of fairness, I took a look at the 17-18 finals. Not LeBron's best series for sure, as they got swept 4-0. Pretty tired in the playoffs at that point. Obviously, more intense than a regular season game, but the Warriors played with great intensity too. I thought this would be a pretty representative sample. I looked through the whole series that they did lose again 4-0. Take a look basically at LeBron's handle. And what I found is a lot of plays like this, where, okay, you can say, yes, he has a huge size advantage over Steph, and a lot of people tend to say bully ball. But is this an example of bully ball? To me, this is an example of a big tenet of being a good ball handler and one of the biggest altruisms in basketball. Lower man wins. If you can get lower than Steph Curry as a 6'9 guy going against a little like Steph Curry, right now he's the lower man. That is a huge key to handling the basketball. Usually you see on drive situations like this, the person that gets lower, offensive player, defensive player, usually ends up winning. You see LeBron is lower to the ground than Steph Curry right here and is able to explode and use that to get past him and finish strong at the basket. In addition, a great deal, of course, is also setup. You see here him setting up the pick and roll with the small, waiting and reading it, and then setting up with the right to left reject dribble, the crossover and beat KD and attack the basket. Does he have super skip to my Lou, Rafer Alston, Sebastian Telfair, N1 mixtape handles? No. But he has an incredibly efficient, tight, compact handle. He protects the ball well. He reads his man, reads the feet, and he has a lot of different finishes and things he can use to get to the basket. Of course, some of that will overlap with finishing. Some of it overlaps with bully ball. But you know what? Basketball is not black and white. It's gray. First heard that from Ryan Saunders, the head coach now of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Look at this one on Nick Young. Really simple. Again, it's a simple game. You can get by your man. That's the key ball handling, to be honest. Right to left crossover. He's got one of the best in the league. Just sizing up his man. Quick, compact, speedy, efficient, hard pound is enough to get by him, get to the rim, and get free throws. This one, of course, had a little bit of footwork to it. Like I said, there's a lot of overlap in all these things, but just reads Draymond anticipating the pick and roll and is going to beat him away from it. And again, stays low, quick, compact, great hard pounds with the right, but he can do it just as well with the left hand, and is part of what makes him so incredibly dangerous in addition to that size, that length, that incredible finishing, and all the other things he has. Misses the finish here, but again, just pay attention to the setup, the right to left crossover right at the point of the screen, reading JaVale, standing up for a second so JaVale relaxes, and then getting low, little hesitation, just enough to get by him. JaVale gets, I believe, a hand on that running hook. Always has his head up, has been the point guard pretty much his whole career, will continue to be the point guard obviously this year with the Lakers. And yes, this is a size advantage for sure, but this is a pretty big defender in Sean Livingston on him. He beats him here not just with his size, he beats him with a little hesitation, a little stutter step, and then gets into that gap. Maybe a little bit of a push as well, but Livingston's being physical in return. But again, the tight, efficient handle, able to attack and get into those gaps as well as anybody in the league, especially at his size. Again, a little bit of footwork here, but a slight little jab towards the baseline is enough to get Draymond off balance a little bit, and then he's going to attack again to that middle. As you see, 2 efficient dribbles, staying low. Is it a simple handle? Like I said, for sure. But it's also super efficient, doesn't turn the ball over, always protects it, always uses change of speed, change of pace, standing up, sitting down, reading his man, constant game of cat and mouse, which again, moves are not the same to me as handle. Does he have the most moves in the world? No. But does he have a super efficient, incredibly efficient handle? Yes. You see in transition here, again, the right to left crossover, right at KD. If he has any sort of tight gap, even like that, he's able to put it down and get to the rim. On top of that, like I mentioned, one of the best pick and roll players of all time, too. Prefers to have smalls setting for him because that's when teams really don't want to switch smalls like Steph Curry onto him. He'll go against usually a hedge or a show from Steph Curry there, and you see LeBron do a great job riding out the hedge. Going past him, forcing an extra defender, Jordan Bell here to come in, and then reading the situation, making the lob to the big and the dunker. Like I said, always has his head up, reading the floor, hitting bigs, running the floor, and then can do it with both hands. Super ambidextrous, an underrated thing. That yes, a lot of guys in the league are pretty good with both, but to have the consistency, even to go in a straight line with your right and your left hand equally well, like LeBron generally does, is a rarity. There's a lot of guys in the league that are a lot weaker. Even James Harden is a ton weaker with his right hand. You think that's not efficient? You think that's not low to the ground for a 6'9 guy? Again, setting up the pick and roll, coming off, going right at JaVale. You see a little right to left crossover, and then look how he pushes the ball out. Stays super low. That's the key to ball handling, honestly. In addition to ball pounds, a tight crossover. You guys are way overcomplicating it if you think it's about between the legs dribbles, behind the back, all these other things. You watch Steve Nash, you watch Chris Paul, you watch a lot of these guys. Do they have it in the tool bag? Sure. But at its core, it's about beating your man, as you see LeBron does in a straight line here with the left hand, forcing help to come in, having your head up, making the right basketball play. Simple, simple game, frequently overcomplicated. Again, lower man here as he forces the goaltending call here. Getting Clay switched onto him, standing up for a second, and then attacking that baseline, being lower than Clay. Nice tight handle along the baseline, puts it in his left hand to finish, gets the goaltend. You want to see a little more skip to my Lou, dancing with the ball. Here's a little bit more with some dancing here in this clip, a little between the legs. But ultimately, all this stuff usually is just to set it up. He's not Jamal Crawford using a whole bunch of crossovers and things to get his shot off. But he is a guy who, ultimately, it's about the angle. It's about using his speed, using his size. And when he does all these setup moves, ultimately, can you get by your man? And he can right here with the hard left hand, couple pounds, get to the middle, rise up and elevate. Biggest key to one-on-one basketball, obviously, just being able to beat your man. Has the size advantage, of course, but even further out, ends up backing him down to the crab dribble. That's a form of dribble, believe it or not. It's a form of ball handling. As you see Steph giving him a little cushion, part of handle to me, taking advantage of what you have. Takes advantage of his size mismatch, forces a second defender to come in, makes the right read, on time, on target to his shooters. One of the best of all time at doing that. You see him again going around the hedge. This time, the help doesn't stop him, so he's going to finish at the basket. Again, the pace, the read, just reading the pick and roll so well. Tight, compact. When he sees space, when guys don't get back and build a wall, again, this is not just about size. He sees Livingston here is the only one back. Golden State doesn't have a wall built. Jordan Bell has Nick Young, has his back to the ball. That's key for him to attack right into that gap. Sees Livingston standing up too straight. He's going to get low, get right into that gap, finish. Simple, simple game. A lot of James Harden's game is based on this as well. A lot of Giannis's game is based on this. If you have space, it's a game of space. You have space to operate, you attack those gaps, you get into them, you finish, or you create a play for your teammates. You see the crab dribble again, form of dribble. Steph giving him a big cushion. Great job just reading it continually on the back down. Steph keeps backing up. Great job not bowling into him. Understanding how the defense is playing you. Using his body. Finishing. And then the spin move. The form of dribble. A dribble move. Not super complicated, but another simple one that LeBron likes frequently in transition, where he can handle the ball with each hand, get to the rim, and finish. Does LeBron have a good handle? I think you know the answer. Is it debatable, top 5 or 10 in the league right now? Sure, but to me, efficiency, compact, protecting the ball, there's few better in the league and few better all time than LeBron James. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure you hit that thumb up button, hit that subscribe button. And again, Scout with Bryan, Twitter, Instagram, scoutwithbryan.com. Make sure you join the movement. Thank you guys for watching.